because it's end of January and I'm already seeing some people like, they're like, oh, it just didn't work out. I'll wait until next year.
Whoa. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
But I'm also seeing some people already executing at a high level, man. It's like, and they're pumped.
That's great. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah. So tell me, where do we start? Dude, well, welcome again to the show. I feel like we're best friends now because we talk so often, which is cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dude, you're amazing, man. I love, and like you were telling me about why we get along on social. Well, I look up to you for the exact same thing, right? The energy, the positivity, but you're so grounded on everything. It's the execution that makes it all complete.
Yep.
So that's what I love about you. And today I want to talk about really part of that execution, right? Achieving these goals that we set out, because it's end of January and I'm already seeing some people like, they're like, oh, it just didn't work out. I'll wait until next year.
Whoa. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
But I'm also seeing some people already executing at a high level, man. It's like, and they're pumped.
That's great. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah. So tell me, where do we start?
Well, if it's okay with you, what I do every year, right? And I usually do it in November, December, is I sit down with my team and I've got it's like a full day event. We get lunch, they're here all day, and we create their business plan, which includes goals for the year. I'd like to share it. Ooh, and it's all branded for my team and everything. But guys, if you're liking this and you want, because I'm going to skip through this really fast. If you want to use it, it's fine. You can find me somehow. I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere. On Instagram, the Joe Rosen Show. I will send it to you via email. I can send it to you over Canva if you want it. Canva's obviously the best. If you've got Canva, give me your email address. I'll shoot it to you on Canva. You can take out my logos and colors. You can put your colors and logos on, especially if you're a team leader. My gosh, this is a great thing. So let me go in here and let's see if I can share screen. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So I've got little notes in here for me too, but I almost took them out, but I thought, no, I want to share these notes with these guys. So this is what we set up for our team. And again, if you get this sent to you, it's useful in an email. But if you've got a Canva, you can come in, you can get rid of EXP and put in Coldwell Banker. You can get rid of the Rosen group and put in the Tristan group, right? Whatever you've got. So
you make that look so sexy right there, man.
Hey, that's me.
That's so cool, bro.
I appreciate it. So I like this little note up here, scheduled for mid-November, right? I'm going to say two things on this. Always plan ahead, right? Always plan ahead. So if you do it early, November, December, you'll be ready for the year. But if it's January 26th and you do not have a plan, that's not a problem. Don't let that slow you down. Don't wait to lose weight until the first of the month. Don't wait to start your plans until the first of the year. Get it going right now. It's the best time to start is right now. Yep. So here's some notes, and I think these are important to think about as we go through this stuff. Tristan, I'm going to talk really fast, but you just stop me whenever.
Dude, I'm just watching, and I'll ask questions. Go.
Okay, sounds good. So you are not lazy. You just don't have compelling enough goals. I think that's so true. Anytime I find myself not getting after it, right, and I feel lazy, it's because I'm not focusing on my goals. I don't have them in front of me. They're not posted. I don't have my accountability buddies calling me and asking me about them. I don't have a strong enough why behind it. I'm not focused on the end result. Why am I doing? I know you guys want money. I want money too. But what is that money going to get for you? What is the journey going to get for you? What is the growth going to get for you? It's all going to provide something really cool to your life, or at least it has the opportunity to. If you're focused on that, you don't give a damn about work, and it is exciting. You're motivated to do it, right? I want to talk about motivation and discipline for a second too. Motivation is, I just got done sitting at a Tony Robbins event and I've got fire running through my veins. That's motivation.
Dude, yes.
Discipline is, I don't want to do it. I feel lazy. Maybe I'm a little sick. I'm tired. But guess what? I've got a plan. It says I got to make 100 calls. I got to make 20 follow-up calls, and I got to knock on 10 doors. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it as fast as I can so I can go sit on the couch and I can watch some Netflix. but my discipline is going to get me through my plan. That's the difference, guys. You're a CEO of a business now. Run it that way, man. Second note here, goal setting. This is important. Goal setting should not be comfortable. It should be uncomfortable, and it should be inconvenient. One thing I'm working with some of my agents on right now, the ones who are probably struggling a little bit more, is listen, if you work at Target, McDonald's, Walmart, whatever, and you work until 5, if you cut out at 4:30 and I'm your boss, you're fired, right? You do that one too many times, you're fired. And it's probably going to take twice. But when you run your own business, you can clock out anytime you want. You can go watch Little Johnny's baseball game anytime you want. You can go to the dance recital anytime you want. So one of the biggest challenges we have, and one of the reasons I think 87% fail out in any 5-year span, is because it's too easy to do whatever you want all day long, right? You've got to set some store hours. We're going to talk about store hours in a little bit. Doesn't mean it can't be flexible, but you should have a standard that you're going to commit to. And the more you stick to it, that more you stick to it should absolutely correlate with the commitment you have to getting to the next level, right?
Dude, I love this, man. So I love that you said you've got to get, your goals should make you feel uncomfortable.
Amen.
Yeah, I like that.
Amen. Yeah, it's funny because when I get a lot of new agents, the first time we meet is usually the best time because they've got the biggest, just blind goals. And it's awesome. It fires me up. And I tell them, you can do this. I promise you can do this. Don't worry about the results. Just focus on the plan. You can't control the results, but you can 100% control the plan. Trust in me and trust that the plan will get you the results, and just focus on the plan. So absolutely. So this last little bullet down here, goals create a realization in your mind that there is a difference between where you are at and where you want to be, right? And everybody wants to be somewhere else. The top of the top of the top of the top, you still are striving for something else. This is why a lot of really successful people have a challenge retiring. What am I going to do? Sit on the beach all day? I can only do that for 4 or 5 days. I'm getting bored, man. I got to level up at something. So realize that when you're setting a goal, that goal is there to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, which is 2 completely different things, right? It creates awareness around the pain that you feel. We're getting deep here. The pain you feel where you're at. I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough time with my kids. I don't have the house I want. I don't have the education I want. I don't have the team or the passive income or the rental properties or whatever it is you think you want, and it'll change. That's okay. But wherever you're feeling now, you're feeling some sort of pain. And the pleasure you'll feel if you follow through on the day-to-day standards that reach your goals, right? So I want you to really see that. That is a big part of goal setting. It's not just, hey, I want to close on 50 houses this year. It's deeper than that. It's looking at a pain you've got, something you want to grow in. And I'm telling you right now, Tony Robbins says this all the time. If you look at pain and pleasure, chasing pleasure, something like, I want to close on 50 houses. I want to make 500 grand. Whatever it is, that is 10% as impactful as the pain. So if you've got pain, if you can find the pain you're running from instead of the pleasure you're chasing, find the pleasure too, but do not forget about the pain. And that's one thing a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Dude, yes.
All right, let's go to page 2. We haven't gotten into this yet. I'm watching the time. I'm moving fast. Okay, so why set goals? This is a big thing. The why to anything, right? Who's the why guy? I can see his page. Simon Sinek has a phenomenal book. Is it Start with
Why, buddy?
Yeah, phenomenal book, right? And it's innately common not to do that, right? Instead, we start with the what and then move into the how. But man, if you start with the why, that's the anchor for everything, because then you can decide, is this thing that I'm deciding I want to do, this strategy, this plan, this prospecting method, whatever it is, does it fit my why? If it does, let's do it. If it doesn't, get rid of it. And it makes clarity of thought so much easier, which is the first thing I wrote right there. Provides clarity of desire, right? It keeps everything clear for you, which is great. Builds a path that results in achievement. And it creates a physical reminder that instills motivation. Okay, so the goal is the physical reminder. How do you make it physical? You make it physical. There's a few different ways to do this by posting it somewhere. Post it somewhere that you know you're going to see it every single day, especially on days you're not motivated. So if you've got an office you got to drive to, it's 8 minutes away. And on motivated days, you're there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And on unmotivated days, you don't go to the office. Guess where you should not have your goals posted? In your office. Put them in your bathroom mirror. Put them somewhere where on unmotivated days, they're going to smack you right in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My favorite place, by the way, to keep my goals is my back pocket. I got that from Gene Frederick. He's a phenomenal guy, motivational guy. Reminds me of Zig Ziglar. And he said, if you're serious about your goals, they should be in your back pocket at all times. You're sitting there waiting for the subway. You're waiting for the train. You're waiting for the bus. You're waiting for whatever. Pull them out, read them. Get addicted to your goals. All right, next page. Oh, let's clear this up here.
Dude, that's such a, you know what? When I started way back, and I sat through, I learned that from Brian Tracy, and I'm sure they learned it from Gene. And then I learned it from Mike Ferry, and I know they learned it from Gene, right? But that is such a simple thing.
It is.
And I mean, we have a phone now. We could just have a note that says goals and just review them on that. So
yes,
it's so easy, but so powerful.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And I think sometimes we forget how simple we are. We've got complex layers as human beings, but really the art of motivation, the art of goals, the art of all this stuff, man, just stick to the basics. It's so simple. Don't overthink it. Just get to work and execute. So I agree with you, man. Let's get to clarity of desire here, right? What is it that I truly want, and how can I make that as clear in my mind as possible so that as I'm going down this path all year, I'm not thinking, I get it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know what that treasure, that dollar amount, the number of closings, the team members I want, whatever it is, I know it because it's so clear. So I think all of it, and this is maybe the most important sentence in this entire thing, start with your purpose or your why, right?
Yeah.
So when I was thinking about my business, I remember when it was all created. I was in Afghanistan. I was in the Army. I was deployed. And I love the Army. I was Mr. Army. You ask anybody who worked with me, they were like, that guy is committed to the Army. I drank the Kool-Aid. And we were out on a mission. The way it worked where I was you would be sent on a mission maybe 24 to 48 hours before you actually went, maybe 3 hours before you went. And you didn't know how long you were going to be gone. It could be an 8-hour mission. It could be a 2-month mission. I have no idea. So you would pack for 2 weeks. And if you were out there for about a 10, 11 day period, they would fly back people who would bring you supplies. So you had to have your supply list created back at base so they knew what to bring you. So I remember I was out at this FOB and there were probably 40, 50 of us out there fighting Taliban, and they would bring you a phone. And they would set the phone out there and they would put a guy like me with some rank in charge. And they would say, hey, everybody gets 3 minutes, ready, go. And you get these grown, tough, special forces Ranger men bawling their eyes out on the phone because they're talking to their little girls back home. I got to cut them off at 180 seconds.
Wow.
So that I vividly remember saying, while I love the Army and it served our family well, I've got little girls now. And I want to be in a place where even if I'm working 80 hours a week, I spend time with them every day. I tuck them in every day. I get to spend time with them every weekend. I'm never deploying anywhere. And now I've got that. So I don't care how hard I work. And every time I'm working hard and I maybe get a little burnt out, I think back to that and I think, no, I am here to absolutely crush it for my girls. It's not about me. And while I'm having fun and there's all kinds of things that personally motivate me, there's nothing that motivates me more than thinking back to that day and thinking about my girls. So you need to think about, why are you getting into this? And I would say most people, not all people, I'm generalizing here, but I want you to think about what yours is as I give you this example. Most people get in because they're at some job where they've kind of hit the max. Maybe they're working more hours than they want. They don't want to work that many hours. Maybe they're making as much as they can make and they wish they made more. Maybe they don't like their boss, he's a jerk, or he's too restrictive and you want to grow, or he wants to grow and you want to restrict, or whatever it is, you just don't like your current conditions or people you're around. So you say, man, if I go get my own business, I can do any doggone thing I want, right? They chase that word freedom. And I promise you, Tristan, I'm sure you'll agree with me, you'll get the freedom, but you've got to earn it. You've got to put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of failure, right? And all that failure and those reps lead to success. And eventually you will get all the freedom your heart desires. But man, you got to work your butt off up front. So I think it's really important to have that why. Know what your why is. So on the days you're not motivated, it's that seed that adds that little bit of motivation.
That's what keeps you, it's what keeps you going through the hard times, man.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's why I love that book, Start With Why, because he's really saying, hey, why don't you start with what hurts you the most and your reason for succeeding, and then use that, because that's what you're going to need to get through those days when people hate you. And you were questioning, why the hell am I doing this? Yeah,
it's true. It's true. We're all going to get yelled at. We're all going to get fired from a listing client. We're all going to lose part of our commission. It's going to happen. But if you've got this stuff written out and you've got it slapped on the wall and you're looking at it every single day, it's going to keep that clarity of desire. I want to go over this last sentence here before I switch pages here. Write out your why below in no more than 2 to 3 sentences, right? So for my team, again, this is a training material that I use. I want them to keep it concise. So I'm not asking them for a page or multiple paragraphs, just shortly get right to the point. What is the one thing that if you read it when you were down would bring you back to that initial why in your heart, that passion you have, that desire you want, that success you want to go after? Write it out so you can focus on it. And then when you post your goals on your wall, your mirror, wherever you're putting it, that why should be at the top. That's the first thing you read every single day, bringing you back to that emotional thing that's driving you every day, even when you're not motivated.
Dude, that should be in your back pocket with your goals right there.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. All right, so we're going a little bit deeper with clarity and desire here. So before we're able to set realistic goals, it's important to have store hours. I'm a huge believer in this. This is something a lot of realtors are going to cringe at, but I'm telling you, while it seems restrictive, it's the thing that will give you the freedom. I know when my family time is, and when my family time pops up, I don't give a damn about my clients, and they know it because I tell them. But they know I work. I'm up at 4:30 a.m. I go to bed at 9:30 p.m. You can call me, text me, email me anytime you want in there, and I will get back to you ASAP, except 6 to 7 p.m. 6 to 7 p.m., that's with my girls. You're never going to catch me, and I don't care. And I tell them that on day one. And I tell you, every single mother says, oh, Joe, that's the smartest thing you'll ever do. That's brilliant. They love it. They appreciate it. So if you're worried about losing customers, it's going to do the opposite, right? I also take Sundays off. So I don't work at all. My clients know it. And I say, hey, listen, I got a team. Any one of my team members can show your house. If you need to list your house, I can come on a Saturday. I can come on a Monday. I don't do Sundays. I don't think I've ever lost a listing because I said that. They always say, that's great. I'm glad you spend time with your, I'm working 80, 85 hours a week. If you can't find me, that's not a me issue, man. That's a me issue, right? And they usually react like that. So guys, I say this over and over because I know the response is usually the fear that you're going to lose the clients. You're not going to lose the clients. I promise you. And if you don't have a team like me that can cover for you on a Sunday, you don't need a team. You can go find people at your brokerage. You can find people not at your brokerage. I guarantee you people at another brokerage would be more than happy to give you a referral, take a referral, whatever you negotiate with these people, and you can work something out. I've done that. I've got a dear friend at REMAX, and before I had a team, I'd call her up and say, hey, Shanda, I need help on Sunday. You want to take this one and we'll do 50-50 or something? Sure, no problem. So do not let that ruin your personal life.
Good point, man. Very good point.
So store hours, right? One of real estate's most attractive qualities is the freedom. We talked about that. Work whenever you want, but it also is what holds agents back. 87% failing in any given 5-year span. So what are your store hours? And I'm not going to go into depth on this. It really doesn't matter what your store hours are. What matters is that you've actually written them down so you can commit to them. And if your store hours are 9 to 5, do not leave at 4:30. Do not show up at 9:30. Whatever your store hours are, work, right? Commit to it. And what a great thing to communicate to your clients for expectation management. I can't tell you, I see these in these major groups, right? LabCoatAgents, some of the other big groups. You'll see one of the biggest complaints is, I got a text at 8 p.m. I got a text at 7:30 a.m. I can't believe this. Guys, if you've never heard of Jocko Willink, and his book is Extreme Ownership, right? That's not a them problem. That's a you problem.
Yep.
And even if that's not true, I think it is, but let's just pretend I can't sell you on that, right? Let's just say you think it's a client problem. If you make it a you problem, you've now made you the solution, which is awesome. I want everything to be my problem. Everything's my fault, because if it is, that means I'm the solution. If I make it Tristan's fault, now I'm just hoping Tristan's going to change. If he doesn't, I don't control the situation. You don't want any part of that. Make you the fault. That's, I think, the best answer to any of this stuff. So one thing you could say is, hey, Tristan, you're my brand new buyer. Listen, I work 9 to 5, 6 days a week, every day but Sunday. If you need help outside of those hours, just let me know a little bit beforehand. I'll get a team member on board. But does that make sense? Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Great. Sounds good. Move forward. No problems.
Dude, how far are you from Orlando?
2 hours.
Oh, we're going to have Jocko there on the 19th.
Dude, don't even start with me.
And it's only like $79. And you can meet and greet him.
I'll buy 100 tickets.
Dude,
what day is that?
On the February 19th. And it's in the morning. He's talking for an hour and then he's signing books. And then
That's Saturday.
Yeah, we're co-hosting that one with the Lucido group. I'll send you the link while we're talking. You mentioned Jocko. Extreme Ownership is my #1 favorite book of all time. So there's nothing better.
Good.
Dude.
Yeah.
Top.
I love that guy. And he's a good guy. He sounds like a big, scary Navy SEAL.
You know what, dude? You and him have the same voice, by the way.
No, that dude's way more badass than me.
I know, but you guys talk the same. It's hilarious.
He's awesome. He's a reasonable guy, though. He sounds scary, but if you listen to his stuff, he's the most reasonable guy in the room.
Yep. Yeah. All right, continue.
All right.
All right, buddy.
You made my day, by the way. I appreciate that.
Thanks, bro.
Are you going to be there? You're going to be there?
I'm going to be there. I take stage after him, and we'll just have a little mastermind after.
I love that. I'll be there.
I'll send you the tickets.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so now you've got your why, you've committed to specific hours. Now we're going to start creating goals, right? You see how that was not the first thing we did. That's where everybody wants to jump. But I'm telling you, if you take a little bit of time and just do those other things first, it's so helpful. I get people who say they want to make 40,000 calls a year because they know kind of the numbers of a rookie agent, how many calls you got to make to convert to a sale. And so, 40,000 calls. How many hours are you going to work? Oh, yeah, we add it all up and it's like 30 hours. I'm like, listen, that's going to be challenging because all you're going to be doing is calling. What are you going to do when you get the appointments from your calls? You don't have any hours left.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with working 30 hours or 80 hours. The problem is when you've got 80-hour goals on a 30-hour week or vice versa, right? So you want to make sure that your hours are kind of fitting your goals. So here's Joe's definition of goals. Take it with a grain of salt, but this is my definition.
Go.
Goals are achievements that we have a strong internal desire to reach, something we want to chase, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing that reaching them will have an intended positive impact on our lives. Probably, hopefully, aligning with your why, aligning with your purpose. So it's that simple.
Dude, I love that explanation for it.
I appreciate that.
That's really good.
I think it's just simple and clear, and it's focusing on getting from point A to point B.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
All right. So looking at what you want to achieve by December 31st, right? Or whatever date frame you're looking at, but here I'm looking at December 31st. Write down as specifically as possible what that's going to look like. So here's some of the bigger things that we're looking at. You can make whatever numbers you want, but we're looking at how many closings do you want? What are your total sales dollars? What's your gross commissions? If you're, so at EXP, we're building downlines, right? So how many agents do you want? What's your revenue share going to be like? You might have something else at your brokerage you're chasing or your team you're chasing, whatever it is, write it out. If it's a metric, write it out. I've become, you know, Kyle Whistle, Tristan.
Yeah. Kyle's awesome.
Oh yeah. You guys are right in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
That guy, if I had to define that guy with one word, it'd be systems. He's the best systems guy I've ever met. And he introduced me to Sisu. And Sisu has been a game changer because it takes all that tracking I used to do in Excel, which I hated. So I was kind of doing it half-assed anyway. And Sisu makes it into a game. So now I'm addicted to it. I want to beat everybody on my team and I want them to know it. And I want them to see it in a pretty graph. And they want to beat me. So every day they wake up, they're like, I'm coming for you, Joe. I'm like, let's go. So it gets everybody so motivated. It's fun. But tracking this stuff is critical, right?
Yeah, that's key.
So now we come down the path. Okay, so now you know what you want by December 31st, right? You've got that, which is great. You've got the path all kind of marked out. So the question remains, how are you going to get there? We've got the goals. We got the why. We've got the store hours. Now what's the plan, right? So going back to this last page, we've got number of closings, sale dollars, gross commissions, agents in your downline, total revenue share, whatever your metrics are, right? Those are December 31st metrics. You don't know what they're going to be. You don't 100% control those things. You absolutely influence them, but you don't control them. What you do control is the plan. That's what a little bit earlier I was telling you, Tristan, with my new agents, I'm telling them, do not commit to the end state. Forget about the results. We're going to talk about them because I want to motivate you and I want you to see where they are, but I want you to commit to the plan because you can 100%. If you say you're going to make 100 cold calls a day, that takes, with a triple dialer, it takes about 40 minutes, right? Through REDX has got a triple dialer. Use that triple dialer 40 minutes. Yes, sir.
You use the triple dialer for your whole team. Does anybody choose to use the single dialer? Just a quick question there.
They use the triple dialer because I pay for the triple dialer. So the answer is no. I've heard a couple arguments for the single dialer, but my whole thing is, guys, get on the phone and do a B+ job. Quit wasting time. Like if it's your blocked off time for self-improvement, absolutely self-improve. But if it's not your time, if it's call time, get on the phone and make your calls. Go, 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 go. I'm a huge fan of B+ plan and moving fast. So I say all that, I'm getting a little lengthy here because I don't know if a single dialer is better, a triple dialer is better. I just like the number 3 better than 1, but there's not a lot of thought behind that, to be honest with you.
I love that, dude.
What's your thought on it?
I think sometimes it's a little scary for some people. So I think them coming in with the single dialer makes them feel a little more comfortable. Yeah. But I'm always like, you can't swim, let me push you in. So I'm the same way. Just try it and you'll figure it out pretty quick. So yes.
And I will say a triple dialer is a little intimidating. It is. The mechanics of it at first, because let me put this guy on hold while I do this, and I got to send this message. If you do it for a week, you're a pro.
That's true. But you're gonna screw up for sure. So.
Oh yeah, and just embrace it. Get excited about it. I want to talk about that for 2 minutes too. I think that's really important with goal setting here. If you guys have ever seen David Goggins, the guy is sadistic. What's his book? Can't Hurt Me.
Yep, that's it.
Can't Hurt Me, right? One of the most, it is one of the best books I've ever read, but that's not the word I was going to use. I was going to say impactful. Like I remember some of the sentences that dude used. It is very vivid in my mind what I was picturing when I was reading it. It's extremely impactful. And this guy's nuts. That dude is the baddest dude on the planet, maybe ever. I don't know. And what I really took away, I took away a lot from that book, but one of the biggest things I took away is we all have adversity. Right? Going back to, we all have clients who fire us. We all have commissions we lost. We all have $1 million sales that fall through. All those things are going to happen, and they're going to happen to everybody. And honestly, the more successful you are, the more it happens. So good luck, guys.
100%.
But knowing that it's going to happen no matter what, you can look at these stressors. You can look at these challenges in 2 different ways. You can look at it the way most people look at it, which is, shit, man, I got this thing in front of me. This sucks. How am I going to do this? That puts a pain in the butt for this. And then this is going to be behind 2 weeks. And then I got to hire the. That's one way to react. And that's how most people react. That's the innate way most humans react. Or you can train your mind, not just to be okay with it, but to get sadistic and excited about it. Like, I hope my day is filled with issues, and I hope they're monster issues that 95% of agents can't put the fire out on. And I hope they're things I don't know anything about, so I got to go learn stuff. I hope they stop me dead in my tracks, man. And I hope they're monsters. And when you start saying that and you really start buying into it, you hope it's cold out when you go on your run. You start to hope you're going against 3 agents when you get into a listing presentation. You start to hope for it and you love it. And the people feed off that energy of you having the confidence and like, give me the adversity. What I say it to my clients now, because it's ingrained in my brain, where something will pop up and it's negative. I'll never forget Linda. Linda called me and she had, Joe, we got a big problem. I said, Linda, I doubt it's as big as I hope it is, but let's go. How big is it? And she laughed and I kind of caught her off guard, right? And she told me the problem. And I said, well, Linda, I'm a little disappointed. That's a problem I'm pretty sure I can fix. But next time I want a bigger problem. Here's how we're going to fix this one. And she immediately felt like I was driving the ship. She was completely confident in me because I was confident and I had that mindset, right?
Yeah.
So just, guys, I invite you to take on that mindset because it's pretty doggone awesome.
Dude, I think you're creating habits around how you're going to decide you're going to react over time, right? And a lot of us don't realize that the way we react are the habits we're creating. And that's what sucks.
Yep. And if you react with pure confidence, I mean, look at your kids. Half the people listening to this probably have kids. If you're crazy, your kids are crazy. If you're confident, your kids are confident. If you're chill in the face of adversity, they're chill, right? Your clients are the same way. Humans are the same way. I know I've seen it before. You're watching, I've seen horror movies and you're watching it super scary. Then you'll go back and watch it again in an edited version where they take the music out, right? The really chilling, like on the edge of your seat music. And it's not scary anymore. You're like, it's kind of cheesy now. Same exact thing. It's just they're setting a different tone for you mentally.
So true, man. So true.
All right, so let's get into the path here. So now we're going after the plan, right? Again, we've got the store hours, we got the why, we got the end state, what we want it to look like. Now let's get into the plan. So these are some of the biggest things that I talk about if you want to influence your day, influence what it is you're able to achieve in a specific day, right? Perfect. Prospecting, that's on top. That ain't no accident. That's on top for a reason, right? Yep. Prospecting should be the number one thing that anybody does. If you don't know what to do, get on the phones. You don't know what to do, go knock on doors. That's the best thing you can do, right? Morning routines. And Tristan, you had a great video the other day. I'll give you a shout out where he said morning routines are touted as the best thing you can have when it comes to routines. But he said, I don't agree. I think it's evening routines. I don't know if that's how you said it. Yeah. But it was basically, it was setting up for the next day, right? And I couldn't agree with you more. Oh, I did put it there. It's the third thing I've got there. All your routines, my whole morning, I literally wake up at 4:30 and then I respond to emails, DMs, texts, all that stuff until about 4:50. And then I'm grabbing my dog, putting him on a leash, and we're going out. We do one big circle, then I let him back. Then I go on 2 big circles. I come back. I'm usually back by about 6:20, 6:25. I stretch till 6:30. Then I come in. I'm doing more admin till my 7-Eleven show. Then I'm going in and getting like it's down. It's a science. It's boom, 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 boom. It's the same thing every morning. And at the end of the day, I know my next day is going to be a complete tornado unless I look at my schedule and I look at my goals, right? The things I want to achieve, and I start to meld them together. You got to hit your appointments, but I got to add in those little gray areas where I don't have appointments. I got to add my goals, my Facebook posts, my prospecting, all that's, it's got to be in there. And then I create my day. So when I show up the next morning, it's sitting there right on my laptop. I'm not even thinking. All I'm doing is executing. So I think those routines are critical. right? You can do 20, 25 deals a year without routines. Good luck getting over that without routines.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I agree. So true.
Now I've got reading here. I might switch that out and put in there self-improvement, because you can do it through Audible, reading books. You can do it through YouTube videos. You can go to the event up in Orlando with Tristan. There's a million ways to accomplish this, but just really setting aside self-improvement time. I think this is something that honestly your mid and upper level agents probably have a tougher time doing than your newer agents. Newer agents are hungry. They know they don't know stuff, right? So they're chasing it. But a lot of times I see, even with me, you start to rest on your laurels. You think, hey, I'm a pro. I'm a top 1% guy. I know everything. I'm good. You don't, because the second you learn it all, there's new stuff, right? It's all changed. So you got to keep putting in. Don't just let it happen. Plan it just like you would a listing appointment, just like you would your morning routine. I put 3 30-minute slots. It's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I put them in my calendar. And that is an appointment. I do not book listing appointments at that time. I don't show homes at that time. That's when I'm improving myself. So if you want to continuously improve, which my gosh, you should want to, make sure you add that. Dude, and then the last thing, the last thing is the, is it EOS or iOS? I think it's EOS, a series of books. Have you read those books? Traction, Rocket Fuel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Phenomenal set of books. And without going into depth here, rocks are those big things you want to achieve that would bring a lot of value to your business, but it takes some time. It might take 2, 5 days, 10 days, maybe a couple weeks to get them done. So the goal, according to the book, is to get 3 to 7 of these rocks done every quarter, right? So always have, and I've got what's called a 4-quadrant schedule. I've got my schedule in one area. I've got my weekly goals in another area. I got my to-do list down here, so I'm not forgetting to add those things to my schedule. And then I've got my rocks down here in the bottom right. So when I'm kind of caught up, I pull a rock out and start working on it again incrementally, right? So really focusing on those rocks. What's an example of some rocks? I'll give you 3 I'm working on right now. Improving my listing presentation and making sure I can give it to my whole team. We got a listing boot camp coming up here. That's my deadline. It's got to be ready, and it's in Canvas so they can edit it all. I got to create that. That's going to take a lot of time. I got to create a buyer's packet. We've got one, but every quarter I like to go back, review it, and improve on it. And then my listing packet, right? If I schedule a listing appointment with Bob Anderson, I'm immediately throwing in the mail my listing packet so they can get that. And it's all the wonderful stuff I want them to see before I even get there. So I'm already, if they're looking at 3 agents, I'm the only guy who's mailed them something. I'm already number 1 on their list, and I haven't even met the people yet, right? Those are examples of rocks.
Dude, so how often are you going back and keeping the agents accountable through what you go with them here?
Yeah, so we have different levels of accountability. With Sisu, you're punching in Sisu every single day, and we've got our ops manager. We've got a Facebook group called the Rosen Group. It's a private group with just our team, and she daily, Monday through Friday, posts different statistics from Sisu in there. So if you're sucking, everybody's going to see you're sucking. If you're rocking it, everybody's going to see you're rocking it. So when you go in there, I think Monday, it's how many appointments set have you had so far this year? And it's year to date, month to date. And then it's how appointments have you had that are met? And then how many signed, how many pending, how many closed? So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's the first level. Second level is we have what are called fire meetings. We do them every 30 days. It's a one-on-one. The first one is 90 minutes. Every other one is 60 minutes. And when I sit down, we pull up a sheet. It's the fire meeting sheet. And we literally talk about this stuff. I say, pull out your plan. Where's your plan? Great. So you said you were going to do 141 calls a day, which comes out to however many a week, which comes out to however many a month. Let's go into the dialer and see where you're at. Okay, you're way ahead. Great work. How do you think that's worked out for you? And then we have that discussion. Or they're way behind. I'll say, okay, are you behind because you're lazy, or are you behind because you're busy? If it's you're lazy, let's work on motivation. Let's work on discipline. Let's work on time management. If it's because you're really busy, let's work on prioritization and seeing what things we need to start saying no to so we can start saying yes more to prospecting. So really, we do that once every 30 days.
I like that. The fire meetings.
Fire meetings. I told him, when you get here, man, we're going to light a fire in your ass. Let's go. That's right, baby. And then we got the 30-day explosion challenge. So when we get new people, yeah, everything's based on blowing shit up and lighting it on fire, man. So it's 30 days of videos to get you different tools.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got 2 minutes left. All right, I'm going to speed through. Now, let's get through this. I thought there was one more. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
Building an Empire.
Ooh, okay.
Brian Carruthers. It is, have you read it before? You know what it's about?
No, man.
So it is a phenomenal book, but I'm all about, I don't want to share it with people unless I think it's really helpful. I'm an EXP guy. I'm trying to build my downline. So for me, it's all about like MLM marketing. He's done a lot of it, man. I mean, that's his big thing. And he's got multiple different, I don't even know what all the businesses are he's got. So it is really helpful if you are doing that. I know KW does it, EXP does it. If you are your own broker, if you're trying to build a team, I think it's phenomenal. If you're a single agent, you want to stay a single agent, I'd go read something else, honestly. It's got a lot of great stuff in it, but I'd go read something else.
What's the name of the book? I'm putting it on Amazon right now.
Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. I've met that guy. Phenomenal guy.
All right, perfect. Got him there.
So guys, this is the last thing here that I'm going to go over. Again, on the left, you've got all these things that you don't necessarily control, but they're the end state numbers that everybody gets excited about. So absolutely put them in there. But this thing on the right is how you're going to get there. That's the plan, right? How many conversations? Here's your funnel. Conversations lead to appointments set lead to appointments met. Appointments met leads to sign for a buyer. For us means you got a buyer's rep agreement. For a seller, it's you've got a listing agreement. And then how many pending? And then that leads over here to the closings, right? So you control the conversations, which feeds everything else, and then put your store hours here. And this is something I keep with my goals that have my why at the top.
Dude, that's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful too, baby. I love this, man.
Well, I hope it was super helpful. And guys, like I said, if you want this, if you want an email that's going to be a PDF, you can't change it. So you're going to have my logo and stuff on it, which is fine if you're a single agent. But if you want the Canva version where you can go in and edit and you have a Canva account, just email me my email, findafloridahouse@gmail.com. Find a Florida house, all spelled out, @gmail.com. And if you guys send me an email and just say, Joe, give me that goals thing, that'll work. I'll send it to you. No problem.
Goals thing,
baby. That's the technical term.
I'm texting you. I'm emailing you right now.
Awesome.
I love it. Dude,
yeah, this is great stuff, man. If I always say this, if one person executes and it changes their day, man, this stuff is worth it.
Well, you just laid out something that we should all be doing quarterly, right? To just revisit those.
Yep.
So that's really good. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And of course, this is brought to you by REDX. Jake put up the link there. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
And I put up Sisu's website too, because you brought up Sisu and somebody had a question on that. So thanks, bro. Now what are you going to do? What's next on your agenda?
I've got to go show some houses, man. I'm still working, baby.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
A realtor. Have a great one, bud.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Joe.